Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we into the last segment of news and views right here at Salam Media. The next guest is becoming a firm favorite for many of the audience listeners. I think with the heaviness of the conversations that take place through the show, we always end it on a good positive note because the one gift we can give to everyone is one of hope. Imraan Choonara with Fired Up. Assalamu alaikum, Imran, and welcome to the show.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Zaira, and of course, wonderful Friday. And of course, always welcome to the listeners and viewers of Salam Media.
Alhamdulillah. Imran, you have actually, and we didn't mention this through all the week, is that you actually coming to us live from Beirut. What's it been like having your Ramadan there?
Well, actually, it's been incredible. Actually, it's humbling because you look around you and you realize what we have in our homes in South Africa. I know everybody. I mean, obviously, I speak to my family every single day. And the lack that people have here, of course. Of course, there's a different kind of vibe here because when you're in Beirut itself, it's very exciting. The Ramadan spirit is really, really exciting, and people are with their families and iftar and suhoor, etc., etc. And of course, you can just drive a couple of hours, not even away, and then of course you see millions of refugees, and of course then it's the opposite because then it's no food, and just last night till late. We were getting one of our team members out to one of the camps to give money and assistance to people because they are in desperate need. So you see the contrast. But again, as Muslims, we know this, that husnul dhan billahi azza wa jal, we always have goodness and the good belief, a belief of goodness in Allah's plan, that Allah always plans the right way for goodness for us, not to take away from us. So yeah, that's how it is in Beirut. And guys, that's why it brings us to our topic today of gratitude. Now, I know probably when you heard the topic gratitude today, or you saw it earlier, or advertised as Salam Media did, you wondered, we all understand what gratitude is. Everybody thinks, well, I'm grateful, because nobody's going to admit that they're ungrateful, obviously. So everybody believes I'm grateful. Yeah, I know what gratitude is. I write a gratitude journal, or I do this, or I do that. And all of that is in its place, folks. But I want to share with you something. Our teams, as you know, I'm now in Beirut, of course, in Lebanon with refugees, Palestinian, Syrian refugees, of course, and what's going on just on the doorstep here in Gaza. And just last night, till 1 a.m., I was having meetings about the potential for what could happen here in Lebanon, of course, is happening already in the south of Lebanon, and how it could escalate to in the next few days, weeks, and what that would mean for people here in Lebanon and the destruction, etc. So that's another discussion. But equally in Africa, let's not forget the poverty, for example, in Malawi. Our teams go to Malawi and Mozambique and South Africa in our own doorsteps, right, our homes, obviously. You see people in abject poverty and struggling. But you know what fascinates me always, folks, especially in a country like Malawi or Mozambique or other parts of Africa, and I go deep in the villages. And interestingly enough, when our teams are there, when we're there, you see people who have gratitude. Now, you see, that taught me something that I grew up thinking, not because my father said this or anybody taught me this, just because I don't know where I got it in my head, that when Allah gives you lots of things, when you have things, you should be grateful. Then I learned over time, because I see in villages, in places where they have nothing, but they exhibit a sense of gratitude for even the little they have. And as a young man, that used to fascinate me. I thought, well, if you don't have anything, that's the time to complain. That's the time to moan. That's the time to tell people how bad things are. When you have lots, then you'll be grateful, obviously. No, it's got nothing to do with that. You see, because that's why I say most people think they're grateful, all of us. And don't get me wrong, most people are trying, meaning that they look at what they have, and we know that if you look at someone who has less, like here in Lebanon or in Africa for that matter, you will automatically think, oh, thank goodness I'm in this situation and not in that situation, and I'm grateful for what I have versus what they have. However, let me challenge you on this. You see, you did not get to where you are because of yourself only. You did not choose to be born in the country or the family that you're born into. The people here, the refugees here in Lebanon, or the people in Africa, in places like Malawi, in the villages, they did not choose to be born in that village or in that condition. You did not choose your family. You did not even choose your intellect. It was all gifted to you by our Creator. And for His wisdom, whatever wisdom it is for Him, He decided that someone is born in a village in Africa and someone is born amongst a family that's living a comfortable life and can provide great education for their kids, etc., etc., right? So you didn't choose that. It was chosen for you by your creator. So by default, there's no reason to be arrogant. By default, humility should be part of our being because it was gifted to us. You didn't earn it. I didn't earn the privilege that I've had or have, etc., etc. It was gifted. Because if I was born in the middle of Africa somewhere or in a refugee camp somewhere, my life would be very different, and so would yours, right? And then would you complain because you were born in a refugee camp? Would you complain because you were born in Africa versus born in the family you're born in now? So now you're grateful? No. So let me share with you and let's wrap up on this. At the end, gratitude should not be tied only to what you have versus what someone else doesn't have. Now, that's one way, but that's a very surface level of gratitude is I have this, you don't have it. So I see you don't have it, you have less than me. So I'm grateful. That's one way, but it's a surface level of gratitude, right? Oh, I have a nice car or I have a nice home with my family. Okay, so I'm grateful. That's a very surface level because if you lose your car, you lose your business or you lose someone in your family, does it mean you become ungrateful? Because if it was tied to that, you see how the surface level of gratitude? So let's really, really think about this and develop a being, a sense of being of gratitude. So ultimately, it needs to be a state of being that even when you have very little, you see, because we know that even in the Quran, Allah tells us that if you're grateful, I'll give you more. If you're grateful, I'll give you more, which means that when you show gratitude for the little that you have, because it's a state of being, and gratitude means that you honor it, you respect it, you enjoy it. When you look at the little you have, you feel good, you feel happy, you feel joyful because that's what your creator decided is right for you at this time. And by doing that, he'll give more. By doing that, you deserve more. And that more may come from different places. Okay, let's wrap up on here. I know we need to finish up here. So when you find fault in the little that you have, you don't deserve more. If you find fault in your little, when you got your business and you got some challenges in your business and you start complaining, that's a sign of ingratitude. You have a job and you complain every day, it's a sign of ingratitude. Yes, there's some things about your job you may not like. Yes, you may want a different job. Yes, you may want more money, but don't complain about what you do have. Rather, be grateful for what you have while in pursuit of what you want. Now, I want to give you this suggestion or this point, and we can discuss this another day. Hoarding is a form of ingratitude. Hear me on this. When you hoard, so for those of us who have and we hoard it, we become selfish and we call it, well, no, I'm just saving it for myself and my family. Yes, that's prudent to do that. But when you let things flow through you, it means you trust that more will come. It shows gratitude. Hoarding is a sign of ingratitude, and generosity is a sign of gratitude. So gratitude is much deeper than just the surface level of me comparing myself to yourself. And if I have more than you, I'm grateful. That's one way of doing it, but it's surface. The depth is that even when I don't have, and I see someone who has more, instead of feeling envy or jealousy, I look at my stuff and I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful I actually have this. It's amazing. And I feel joy. It's a deeper sense of gratitude. Have an amazing, amazing Friday.
Shukran, Imran. I think always food for thought and amazing activities and work for us to actually do on ourselves, because these kind of things that Imran's talking about doesn't come by easily. We actually have to do the work for ourselves to be able to reach those levels. And I think you've given us a lot to think about over the next few days and changing the course of how we think of gratefulness and gratitude. It's been very insightful for me, and I think I've got a lot of work to do myself. Jazakallah, Imran, for joining us on air today. It's been a pleasure sharing this week with you. You've made a huge difference for many, and I know we'll keep connecting to hear more from you.
Fantastic. Excellent. Shukran. Salam wa rahmatullah.
That's Imraan Choonara signing off from Beirut. To every single one of our viewers, shukran for joining me this week. You've made it very easy for me to share this platform with you, and I've appreciated every single moment of it. Jazakallah to every guest that has come onto the show. This is it from me, Zahira Bam Ismail, for News and Views from Salam Media. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a blessed Jummah ahead, and remember us in your du'as.